Intersectionality. What is it? Race, gender, disability, religion, sex, class, caste, and age. Intersectionality is the ability to understand how each of these factors work together in the fight for equality. According to the English dictionary, the noun intersectionality refers to the definition, the interconnected nature of social categorizations such as race, class, and gender as they apply to a given individual or group, regarded as creating overlapping and interdependent systems of discrimination or disadvantage. Intersectionality can be seen throughout many forms of art. For example, Zanele Muholi is a photographer from South Africa. Muholi often photographs young members of the LGBT family. Through her bold, beautiful portraits, Muholi represents the queer identity. For example, in the photograph to the left in the works titled Miss Lesbian 1 and Miss Lesbian 2, Muholi is seen photographing a young Black woman who is seen to be wearing a sheath with the words across her chest saying Miss Black Lesbian. This is commenting on her identity through her race, gender, and sexuality. Yasumasa Morimura is a Japanese conceptual photographer and appropriation artist. Morimura inserts himself into adaptations of famous works mostly seen throughout Western art history. Using makeup, costumes, prosthetics, and his creativity, Morimura completely recreates himself with a look that brings forth a new life to a well-known historical work. In the photo to the right, Yasumasa Morimura is seen portraying Marilyn Monroe in the piece titled Self-Portrait No. 56. Morimura comments on Asian masculinity through intersectionality. Marie Laveau was a voodoo practitioner who lived in New Orleans. Laveau was obligated to tie her hair up in a headscarf, not only because she was a woman, but because she was a woman of color. Through her art, artist Fidele Bays depicts a vision of abundance through her hair. In this illustration, she smiles out because she is no longer oppressed by the headscarf she was forced to wear. This is a simple example of a simple form of freedom many may never understand and many will never get. The never-ending battle for equality is not and will never be the same for people of different class, race, gender, sex, age, culture, etc. Despite the many advancements that have come forth in the history, there is still so much more that needs to be done. A few examples of oppression faced by those of intersectionality include female oppression from the freedom to wear their hair as they wish in countries such as Iraq, and in our own country, the US, the gender pay gap. In America alone, it is incredibly hard to be a woman, but it is so much more difficult to be a Black woman. Black women are doubly oppressed because they face difficulties of being, one, a woman in America, and then they also face the problems of being a Black woman. That doesn't also include the many other factors that could play into their oppression, discrimination, and racism that they may face, including their age, their sexuality, the culture, and many of their own historical backgrounds and where they came from that may make up their own identity. Change begins within the individual. It takes the individual to acknowledge that intersectionality is real. The first step is to acknowledge that it exists and to build on this theory to transform and create change. In order to create change, we must head on, take these problems, address them, and create solutions that will be beneficial to those who are oppressed and who suffer primarily from intersectionality, because many of those who do not understand and who cannot relate are unable to fathom or truly understand the reality of what intersectionality consists of. It can have very many different factors ranging from race, gender, disability, religion, sex, class, caste, and age. Together, all of these need to be understood in order to create the change that we need.